6 molecular basis of inheritance. Properties of genetic material or criteria for genetic material. So if they will ask question properties of genetic material or criteria for genetic material, if they will ask like that, you can write these things. So let's see here. Properties of genetic material. It should be able to generate its replication. It means it will produces the multiple identical copies of the original DNA. So here you can see that it should be chemically and structurally stable. The DNA, it is chemically and structurally stable. It should provide slow changes, mutations that required for evolution. Evolution is nothing but changes in characteristics. Proteins does not fulfill the criteria, hence it is not the genetic material. Why? Because it is the protein, not the genetic material. So it means protein does not fulfill the criteria, hence it is not the genetic material. And RNA and DNA fulfill the criteria. Why? Because these are the genetic materials. Replication of DNA. Now you can see here, it is the process by which DNA produces the exact copies of the original DNA. It means duplication. It will produces exact copies of the original DNA. So here in eukaryotics, what is the examples of eukaryotics? Plant cell, animal cell and fungi. They have the well defined nucleus, so we are calling as eukaryotics. In eukaryotics, DNA is double stranded. We all know that the DNA having double stranded. Here double strand is nothing but 5 to 3 end and 3 to 5 end. We are having two strands here. So see here, the two strands are complementary to each other because of their base sequences. What is the base sequence? Base sequences is nothing but nucleotides, nitrogen bases. So adenine, guanine, thymine, these are the base sequences. Here we are talking about complementary to each other. It means you can see that adenine is always pairs with thymine with double bond of hydrogens, and guanine is always pairs with cytosine with triple bond of hydrogens, right? So here you can see that semi-conservative method of DNA replication. It is proposed that the scientists Watson and Crick, okay, so while proposing the double helical structure for DNA, Watson and Crick, they immediately proposed a scheme for replication of DNA. Replication is nothing but duplication. It will produces exact copies of original DNA. So some silent features we are having here. Watson and Crick model of double helical structure. So in the year of 1958, they given that semi-conservative method of DNA replication. Let's see the silent features of this model. It is the most common method of DNA replication, this semi-conservative method of the DNA replication. So replication takes place in the S phase of the cell cycle. This cell cycle we already studied in the 11th standard, cell cycle and cell division, right? So cell cycle is divided into 3 phases: G1 phase, S phase and G2 phase. Here G1 phase is nothing but gap 1 phase, S phase is nothing but synthesis phase, and G2 phase is nothing but gap 2 phase. We already studied in the 11th standard cell cycle. So here you can see that another point, deoxyribose nucleotides needed for the formation of new DNA strands are present in the nucleoplasm. Here deoxyribonucleotides. What is means of deoxynucleotides? It is nothing but how that nucleotides is formed. Simply remember students, here nucleotides is nothing but nucleosides we are adding with phosphate group. So we are calling as nucleotides. Okay, so we are adding phosphate group to nucleosides. We are calling as nucleotides. Here deoxyribose. Okay, deoxyribose is present in the DNA. So we are calling as deoxyribose nucleotides. Here that is nothing but adenine, thymine, guanine and cytosine. Okay, so these are the deoxyribose nucleotides. These nucleotides are needed for the formation of new DNA strands are present in the nucleoplasm. At the time of replication, 2 strands of DNA, it is getting separated. So here you can see that each strand act as a template strand for the formation of new strands. Okay, here when it is getting separated, each stand acts as a template stand for the formation of new stand. A new stand is constructed on each old stand by the complementary base pairing. Here complementary base pairing is nothing but, simply remember students, this is a phenomenon where in DNA guanine always hydrogen bonds to cytosine. It means guanine is always pairs with cytosine with triple bond of hydrogens. Okay, here adenine always binds to thymine with double bond of hydrogens. That is nothing but complementary base pairing. Hence, two exactly identical double-stranded DNA molecules are formed. See the picture, they given clearly in small picture we are having here. So see the picture. So new stand and old stand. Okay, so see the another point here. In each DNA molecule, one stand is old while the other is newly formed. Okay, hence Watson and Crick, the two scientists, Watson and Crick, they are described this method as a semi-conservative replication. Students, this is our textbook diagram only. Watson and model of semi-conservative method of DNA replication. Once again see the picture. Okay, so let's see here. At the time of replication, two strands of DNA is get into separated. Okay, so see the picture carefully and listen here. Each strand act as a template strand. Why it is act as a template strand means for the formation of new strands. A new strand is constructed on each old strand by complementary base pairing. Okay, so it means adenine is always pairs with thymine with double bond of hydrogens. Guanine is always pairs with cytosine with triple bond of hydrogens. Hence, two exactly identical double-stranded DNA molecules are formed. See the picture carefully. New strand is there and old strand is there. Okay, so new strand is formed by the old strand, that is nothing but template strand. So see here, in each DNA molecule, one strand is old and while other is the newly formed. Hence, Watson and Crick described this method as a semi-conservative replication. Now you can see here, students, the experimental proof of semi-conservative nature of DNA replication. So this is given by the scientist Meslin and Stahl experiment. Okay, why we are doing this experiment means separation of DNA by centrifugation. So here centrifugation is nothing but it is the technique which involves the application of centrifugal force to separate the particles from the solution according to their size, shape, density, viscosity of the medium and the rotor speed. That is nothing but centrifugation. Okay, so here you can see that it is now proven that DNA replicates. It was shown first in the bacteria Escherichia coli and subsequently in the higher organisms such as plants and human cells. So here you can see that Matthew Meslin and Franklin Stahl, these are the two scientists, they are performed the following experiment in the year of 1958. The semi-conservative nature of DNA, it is given by the scientist Matthew Meslin and Franklin Stahl. So let's see the experiment here. Here you can see that we are using that centrifugal force to separate the DNA fragments. Now you can see that the DNA having two fragments, that is nothing but 3 to 5 end and 5 to 3 end. Okay, so they given in the picture, you can clearly see that the red color thread is having. So here you can see that they grow E. coli on 15 nitrogen NH4Cl, the cultural medium. 15 NH4Cl is the chemical formula of ammonium chloride. Okay, here we are using that how many nitrogens? Here we are having 15 nitrogens. So we are calling as 15 nitrogen is the heavy isotope of nitrogen. So here you can see that we are having 15 nitrogen DNA, that red color thread. So here you can see that both strands of DNA have 15 nitrogens and 15 nitrogens. Here how many threads of DNA we are having? Through two strands, right? So 15 nitrogens and 15 nitrogens. So this one we are calling as 15 nitrogen is the heavy isotope of nitrogen. Okay, so 15 nitrogen and 15 nitrogen. After 20 minutes, you can see that in the first generation, we can clearly observe in the picture. Okay, so let's see here. DNA extracted subjected to the cesidium chloride, CSCl, the chemical formula of cesidium chloride, CSCl. CSCl is the density gradient centrifugation. Here in the first generation, you can see that green color thread is nothing but it is newly formed DNA, that is we are calling as light DNA, and the red color thread is nothing but that is old DNA, that is 15 nitrogens. Okay, so here that green color DNA, that is we are having that 14 nitrogens. So here you can see that is what we are calling as, you can see that the two ends we are calling as 14 nitrogens and 15 nitrogens. This is hybrid DNA. After 40 minutes, what is the result in the second generation? You can clearly observe in that hybrid or intermediate type of DNA, that is nothing but 15 nitrogens and 14 nitrogens we got in the first generation, right? So after next generation, equal amount of light DNA, you can see that in the second generation after 40 minutes, what is the result here? That green color threads where it is formed separately, we are separated. So that green color we are having in the picture, you can clearly see that is nothing but 14 nitrogen DNA. Here again we are having 14 nitrogen DNA. In the middle we are having red color and green color threads we are having, that is nothing but hybrid DNA. It is nothing but 15 nitrogen DNA and 14 nitrogen DNA. So 14 nitrogen and 14 nitrogen, that is nothing but light chain, that green color chains, that green colored nitrogen DNA, and 14 nitrogen and 15 nitrogen, that is hybrid DNA. We are separation of DNA by centrifugation by using that centrifugal force. Clearly they given that one only. After next generation, equal amount of light DNA, that is nothing but 14 nitrogens and 14 nitrogens, and hybrid DNA, that is nothing but 15 nitrogens and 14 nitrogens are formed. This is the overall experimental proof of semi-conservative nature of DNA replication. It is given by the scientists Matthew Maslin and Franklin Stahl in the year of 1958. Students, this is the matter they given, the experimental proof. It is now proven that DNA replicates. It was shown first in the Escherichia coli and subsequently in higher organisms such as plants and human cells, right? So Matthew Maslin and Franklin Stahl, they are performed the following experiment in the year of 1958. The semi-conservative nature of DNA, Matthew Maslin and Franklin Stahl. Okay, so let's see here. They grew E. coli, the bacteria Escherichia coli, on the 15 NH4Cl, the cultural medium, that is nothing but ammonium chloride. Here we are, how many nitrogens we are having? Simply remember students, don't get confused. Here 15 nitrogens we are having. This 15 nitrogen is the heavy isotope of the nitrogen. So in DNA, how many strands it is? It is 2 strands. Remember here, that is nothing but 5 to 3 and 3 to 5 end, right? So we are having 2 strands. So both strands of DNA having 15 nitrogens, that is 15 one strand is having 15 nitrogens and another strand is also having 15 nitrogens. So see here, these bacteria are shifted to 14 NH4Cl culture medium. So what is the result here? The DNA is extracted to subjected to the cesidium chloride, CSCl. CSCl is nothing but density gradient configurations. Here we are having hybrid and intermediate type of DNA, that is nothing but 15 and 14 nitrogens. 15 nitrogens and 14 nitrogens. In the first generation, after 20 minutes, you can see that in the first generation, we are having that red color threads and green color threads. So that green color threads, that is nothing but 15 nitrogens, 15 nitrogen DNA, and in the 14 nitrogen DNA, that is nothing but green color thread. Okay, so after that second generation, after 40 minutes, you can see that after next generation, equal amount of light DNA, that is nothing but, you can clearly see in the picture, green color threads. Okay, so that is nothing but light DNA. How many nitrogens we are having? 14 nitrogens and 14 nitrogens. And hybrid DNA, 15 nitrogens and 14 nitrogens are formed. You can clearly see in the picture. Okay, so this is nothing but semi-conservative nature of DNA replication. So replication is nothing but, the original DNA, it will produces multiple copies of the original DNA. So here what we are doing means we are separating the separation of DNA by the centrifugation. Centrifugation means we are applying the centrifugal force to separate the DNA fragments. DNA. This is given by the Maslin and Stahl experiment in the year of 1958.